morning, good afternoon, good evening. Many people had not heard of Holy Chain until a few days ago. What he said captured the nation's imagination. The truth of the matter is, he didn't say anything profound. He just said something that we all knew is true. But we didn't have the guts to say it. He's not the first one to do this to Mnangagwa. 6 months ago, Blessed Geza burst onto the scene and, like Uholiten, captured the nation's imagination. Because what he said is something that we all knew was true, and we had not had the guts to say it. Here is what Geza said at the time, January.
Saka muno wina sei imchole wa chinche.
Aiwaga. Mirani kutauri imwe zvinoitika. Ani ndiri kutokutaurira. Kurauza ndatira kupusaka because ndiri kutokutaurira utozviziva. You know, takapusaka ndisikakutauriri zvese. We'll deal with this situation at the appropriate time. But ndiri kutotaura kuti commander vaMnangagwa, right? Navachiwenga, handidi, right? Ngava-dissolve Politburo, tikwane isu, varizive chunhu. Ngava-dissolve cabinet, inozinana kazembe, vana soda, vanani, havambozviutaga pane kupa vaniwa. Vanakambamura, vanani, why do you hate your comrades? Kune general, kune retired CIO vakawanda, kune retired commissioners of police and other senior officers vakawanda. Havadiwe.
Maybe the president is looking at capacity and capability.
Bullshit. Vana grade 7, and capacity and capability. Grade 7. Oita busy, you're busy. Nasa it was Minister of State, Mangwana Provincial Minister. It's terrible. We are not apologetic about it. Children it. Turn out of Pinda, not out of the president, one was motor, one about you don't have a bodyguard.
But you've got your own cars. You've got a hotel at your house that you built in Sanyat. Why do you want all this?
I want to be rewarded as well. Not to be used like a political condom all the time. I'm not a political condom. And urukora vana mahiya vaya vana vamwe.
So what Geza was talking about is corruption. Mnangagwa is trying his level best to give the impression that there is no corruption in the country, and the country is doing well. When we all know that the country is going to the dogs. Corruption has never been more rampant than it is now. Here is a cartoon comparing 2017, when Mnangagwa and company staged the military coup. And in the background, we can see Mugabe and these ministers, those who get booted out. They are each carrying a bag of their loot. And we fast forward to 2024, and we can see Mnangagwa and his scarf cronies with a pile of loot. Zimbabwe is going to the dogs. What Border Gezi, what Blessed Geza and Holy Ten are saying is what we, the ordinary people, can see with our own eyes, and have seen with our own eyes all along, but did not have the guts to spell it out. It has taken 6 months of Mnangagwa bribing the war veterans. He bought some cars, built houses for others. But for the overwhelming majority of the war veterans, they got bicycles. It's laughable. Some of these war veterans, they're war veterans of the Liberation War. So some of them would be in their 70s and 80s. And it is laughable, of course, to see a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old learning to ride a bicycle. They fought in the War of Liberation, and all these 45 years since independence, they've been so poor they could not even afford to buy themselves their own bicycle. And the regime is now buying their blind loyalty with bicycles. Just laughable. But that is Zimbabwe for you. And when Mnangagwa thought he had finally got silenced the war veterans, and he could now safely get back to his 2030 agenda so that he could extend his stay in power, along comes our friend and tells him in no uncertain language that he is bigger than ZANU-PF. I think what took Mnangagwa and company by surprise is that he was supposedly a ZANU-PF member. He was even wearing the trademark scarf. And therefore then they expected that he had been to the Border Gezi and had been thoroughly brainwashed. And for him, therefore, to be saying he's not scared of ZANU-PF with such confidence took everybody in ZANU-PF by surprise, more so Mnangagwa himself. Because Mnangagwa was hoping to get back to his agenda, and now along comes Holy Ten and upsets it all. There are rumors that he has been attacked by the regime, and this is pictures of him circulating on the social media. Can't verify it, But I would not be surprised. This is something that the regime is renowned for. If they've not done it, they'll probably do it, and very soon. This is a regime that is unforgiving and brutal, and he will not be the first one to test its brutality. We are, as a nation, familiar with how ZANU-PF operates. It doesn't tolerate the voice of dissent. It does not want to hear the truth. But in this particular case, the truth cannot be denied. The truth of the matter is, Zimbabwe is a failed state. And as much as Mnangagwa would want us to believe the country is prospering, the truth of the matter is it's not. And so occasionally when along comes people like Blessed Geza or Holy Ten and tell the regime to its face that corruption is rampant and the country is going to the dogs, the whole nation responds to that message. To those of you who are familiar with the emperor's new clothes, they will remember that was the very essence, the moral of that story, a children's story, where the emperor, in his misplaced ego, did not want to admit that he was naked until a little boy pointed out to him that he was indeed naked. We in Zimbabwe have to face the reality that our political system has failed. That ZANU-PF is dragging the nation deeper and deeper into the abyss. All these attempts by Mnangagwa to bribe people with his trinkets is only dragging the nation deeper and deeper into the abyss. We are going nowhere with this regime. And this is the reality that we have to face and deal with. As long as Mnangagwa and company remain in power, there will be no meaningful change. And that is the tragic reality that we have got to admit. Nothing will change. And the country needs free, fair, and credible election to cure ourselves of this case of rigged elections and bad governance. And Mnangagwa is not preparing for that. He is already campaigning to have the 2028 elections postponed so that he could stay on until 2030. Under the pretext that things are getting better. And yet we all know that that is a lie. He dealt with Blessed Geza, and now he finds himself confronted by the truth of a young man, Holy 10. And trust me, that cartoon is capturing the essence of that story. The whole ZANU-PF Shek building was shaken to the foundation. Mnangagwa's eyes are popping out of the sockets. He knows that people like Holy 10 are saying the truth, that he was hoping everybody would be scared to speak. It doesn't help Mnangagwa and these cronies to hear the truth spoken. But sometimes it takes a little boy to tell the truth. And everyone is shocked, not so much about the truth, shocked that the little boy has dared to speak something that they were scared to say. But now the truth is out. The cat is out of the bag. This ZANU-PF regime is looting the nation's wealth. All this talk about Vision 2030, the country attaining upper middle income status, is nonsense. The number one task is to remove this ZANU-PF dictatorship, to end the dictatorship and get the country back on a democratic footing where all the leaders are elected by the people in a free, fair, and credible election and are accountable to the people. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.